Morning, great people. It is indeed a beautiful day. It is Wednesday, the 333rd day of the year, leaving us with 32 more days to the end of 2023. And like I always say, time waits for no one. It's a beautiful day, and welcome on board to the midweek installment of Morning Spring right here on Western Spring Television, where we interrogate issues, critical and topical issues around the world, around our country, Nigeria. We get great perspectives, especially while talking to stakeholders, policymakers, politicians, to help us get deeper view of the issues that we'll talk about right from here. My name is EVELYN, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you on board. Remember that we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, rather, at Western Spring Television. And of course, you can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Of course, I started today. It's ladies first, and I am not alone, as a Liverpool fan that I am. FEMI, good morning.
Good morning, EVELYN. Morning. Good to see you here again. FEMI Ojo is my name, and I join my colleague in welcoming you to the program. Today, we are live on our channel, just like he said. And today is going to be very exciting as well, starting with the headlines and then the conversation. I will welcome you. Thank you for being here, always on your station of choice, Western Spring Television, channel 190 on Star Times, DTT. And, talking about what has happened since yesterday to today, we learned the president will be going to the National Assembly for the presentation of the 2024 budget. Many persons are interested, I am as well, to see the direction, because a budget is one key thing in every administration. That's the financial direction, and once it is submitted, then it will be the turns of the ministers representing their ministries, MDAs, coming to say this is what we are going to do, this is why this is there, this is the item for this, and then the budget will be there. Little breakdown of the budget has been released, basing the proposed budget on was it 795 or 895 naira per dollar. And of course, the same thing goes for, the barrel of oil that would produce. Okay, how much is it? Was it $79 or thereabout? But I don't give categorical figures. But these things has been done. But the managers are really interested in the defense, the scrutiny. That's the main thing, not just going to the House, or the National Assembly, by these ministers and ministries to just say we are going to use this for these. As you're going to source for the fund. We've been having deficit funding for a while in Nigeria, and we get to borrow. And by the way, yesterday we learned the president is proposing borrowing in billions of dollars.
$8.6 billion and 100 million. Euros.
Yeah,
it's huge. Like, Nigerians are also asking questions. Why do we have to borrow? Though the presidency has said that this particular loan was approved by the administration of President, the FEC now, Federal Executive Council of the Buhari-led administration, at the tail end of that particular government. So it's not really on them. Okay. They just need the nod of the Senate. But there are talks in some quarters that it's not really everything the past administration was able to, put together. You have to also scrutinize, you have to interrogate these things to know if we truly need it. But the Minister of Finance and, Economy, Wale Edun, has said it's necessary, especially to fund some infrastructure, to fund agriculture, to fund education. We hope that this money, if gotten, is put into good use. Yeah,
borrowing is not really the issue, but what are we borrowing for? What is the accountability behind the borrowing? These are the issues. And many persons are saying, you know what? Are we going the Buhari way again to borrow and borrow and borrow? It's easy, convenient to say, It's not something new that it has been approved by the last administration. The Federal Executive Council has approved it, so we are going on with it. It's because they see the reason to do that. That's when they want to do that. And so many Nigerians will not take that for them to look like, you know what, it's not our fault. It has been approved before. It's because you want to do it. So the blame game, you know, should really stop. And these are some of the things. So we wish the country well. The president will be at the National Assembly today. And we learned he will be traveling afterwards. But, you know, we'll stay on the matter. On the program today, as usual, we'll go for the headlines. That is where we give you juicy stories from a major daily today. Stay with us. You're welcome back, and we head straight to the headlines right now. Start with The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper, the front page of The Guardian. And after $3 billion crude deal, additional once against resource-backed debt. Take that again. After $3 billion crude deal, additional once against resource-backed debt that can be found on the 6th page of The Guardian for today. And of course, different pictures there are seen today on that front page. Of course, it has the picture, quite many by the way, but then beyond the pictures, Jega asked lawmakers to prescribe cross-carpeting by politicians once INEC unbundled. Jega asked lawmakers to prescribe cross-carpeting by politicians once INEC unbundled. And Tinubu seeks Senate validation for $8.6 billion, 100 million euros loans approved by Buhari government. Okay, at the Guardian lecture, Tinubu pledges more powers to state local councils. Over 27 million kids driven into hunger, malnutrition by extreme weather, and subsidy removers battered us with hardship pains, say pensioners. Appeal court affirms Fubara as Rivers governor dismisses school, others sued. And it's at this point that I welcome our in-house analyst, Ladeji Alabi. Ladeji, good morning.
Beautiful morning to you, Femi and Evelyn.
Ladeji, our guy. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, and you? Well, you look super amazing, and as always, and it's a pleasure to be here again this morning.
Yeah.
Great, and here we go. Let's do this. We were talking about the loan just before we came to this segment, and it says Tinubu seeks Senate validation for $8.6 billion, 100 million euro loans are approved by Buhari government. Ladeji, your take on that?
Well, first, let me start from the blame games. The fact that they are too hard, that it was approved by Buhari's government. But my question is, if they felt the loan was unnecessary, they won't go ahead with it. So they needed it also. And don't forget also, just last week or thereabout, we secured another loan from the AFDB for agriculture. So the minister saying it will be spent on agriculture again, done on this, done on that. Well, I just feel our politicians know how to talk. They know how to say those things. They know what we want to hear. As a people, we've been securing loans and loans and loans and loans, and we still have a lot of abandoned projects. So for me, I don't feel it is necessary for us to go the route of another loan. Yes, we make excuse, you need to borrow, but what are we borrowing for? Yeah. What has been the effect of the funds that we've borrowed over the years? Have we really seen the good of it? Well, to some extent, I would say no. So why do we keep adding to our debt profile? Why we are not even thinking inward? See, the people, it's just like you approaching a bank. Banks will always love for you to come for more loans because they know even the interest on it alone is good for them before you repay their loans. So why are we adding to our burden, for crying out loud, when we can look inward, when we can think about producing and making more money? The fact that we are not exporting the fact that we are not producing, the fact that we are not thinking of how we can make more money is really killing our economy.
And filtering away even the,
you know, and the sad thing, what makes it more worse is that most times we borrow to spend on things that are unheard of. We borrow to buy SUVs, we borrow to buy, you know, things that will make our politicians feel comfortable. But we put them under, oh, we want to borrow for agriculture, we want to borrow for road, we want to borrow for this.
And it doesn't get used
we have
for the
spent
purpose,
those money we are borrowing on roads, I'm not sure we should have a bad road in Nigeria now.
All right, quick one. Jega asked lawmakers to prescribe cross-carpeting by politicians. A possible way to go?
Well, it is like you asking me to mark my own mathematics exam. Even though I know I'm not a good mathematician, but I'll mark myself well. Because you are talking about the people that is affected by cross-carpeting. All of them try as much as possible. Well, it is no longer in news that in Nigeria we don't have politics of ideology. We have, where am I going to get the chance? Where am I going to have the opportunity to become what I want to become?
So you are saying it's not possible to get it done because it's a legislative matter.
It is a matter of the Constitution. It is a matter of the Constitution.
And if we all put pressure,
we have the political will. See, in the National Assembly, the majority will have their way. The minority will only have a say. You can just say something. The majority of the guys in the National Assembly are there because they have no ideology.
But do you see merit in that, actually?
In we having, not allowing our people to cross-carpet.
Yeah, that's once you have a party, you have a party.
Of course, it should be. That's it. That should be the proper thing.
Yeah.
But is that not a breach of their fundamental rights to association? I mean, I can decide to be a part of this party today, and tomorrow
Party A gave you the put your name on the ballot.
Yeah.
You know, as their representative. But because you go to the National Assembly, you say you are decamping to another party.
Then you should drop their mandate.
You should drop their mandate too. So is that not also an infringement on their own whatever?
On the party's
rights too?
All right,
so if Party A is giving you their mandate to represent them, stick with them. Irrespective of whatever happens. All over the world, we have issues in political parties. You see the Conservatives, you see the Labour Party in the United Kingdom. They have issues, but there are internal mechanisms that they use in settling these wrangling. But here in Nigeria, you know, you have a case with EFCC, all you just need to do is to jump guns.
All right, that will be all from the front page of The Guardian.
And we move straight to Nigerian Tribune. Let's get to the stories making waves on that particular newspaper this morning. Ayedatiwa Ondo Speaker reveals details of deal brokered by Tinubu. Highlights how Deputy Governor will sign undated resignation letter to be submitted to President. Says it remains Ondo Deputy Governor. Impeachment proceedings halted. Take actions forestall further crisis over Akeredolu's absence. Ondo Indigents Rights CJ. More details of that is on page 2 and 13. Ekiti government sues Chef Dami's pastor, demands 10 million naira damages. Minister of Power to prioritize metering, distribution, transmission infrastructure. Shaw of Ogbomoso to get staff of office. December 19. Alleged procurement fraud. Emefiele yet to meet bail conditions. Court adjourns hearing to January 2024. Senate passes 57 billion naira police trust fund budget. Page 2 has details of that. And still on Nigerian Tribune, Niger Republic, Northern senators asks ECOWAS to lift sanctions, urge Tinubu to restore electricity supply. Task military junta to roll out transition plan, release Bazoum. And Tinubu seeks NAS approval for $8.6 billion, 100 million euros 2022 to 2024 borrowing plan. We can build $1 trillion economy in 10 years. President says, I bear no grudge against media practitioners. You can get details of that on page 2, 4, and 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. Ladeji, let's go to Ondo State. When the president waded into the crisis, it seemed okay. Everyone buried the hatchet. Everyone sheathed the sword, and they wanted to move on. But the development we are hearing from Ondo State says otherwise. Particularly about how the deputy governor Ayedatiwa will sign undated resignation letter to be submitted to the president. Your thoughts on this?
See, politics in Nigeria is funny. And you can only see people that feed fat on this, that would defend this. On the national television yesterday, I saw this man now, his name is something Fulani. I think he's the APC secretary for Ondo State or something. It's part of the government there in Ondo State. And he says something that, at times when you listen to stuff like that, it wants to anger you. That Akeredolu is not sick, he's not incapacitated, he's only in Oyo State. The question is, doing what? You were elected as the governor of Ondo State. Yeah. You have been in Oyo State for more than maybe a month or two now.
It's recuperating,
Recuperating for what? For crying out loud. What is it doing there? Is there no government house in Ondo State, EVELYN? Is there no... See, it shows how shameless our leaders are. If you have the governor of a state for close to 8 years now, you cannot boast of an hospital that can take care of your illness. Then you should cover your hands in shame, your face in shame. It happened to the same, even the current president. He was said to have built Lagos, but when he was sick, he was flown to London or France. Now, but back to Ondo State, because we're talking about Ondo State now. A lot of political analysts have said the first thing, it is not in the power of the president to tell the whatever not to impeach or make him transfer. It is a constitutional thing. The governor cannot function. The power should go to the deputy governor. But because you guys have a couple of things against Ayedatiwa, you said he must be impeached. So the president coming into it doesn't look good for our democracy. Because we are not building our system, we are building individuals. It means if the president were not to be there, nothing would happen in Ondo. You would have impeached that man and nothing would happen. We need to build systems that are independent of anybody, irrespective of who is there. Yeah. Before the election, I was having a conversation with someone, and he said, okay, when the issue of the health of the current president came up, and the person said, even in America, we've seen a president that ruled on wheelchair. I said, you are talking about society where even if you don't have a president, there are systems that will take charge. But here in Nigeria, we build people. It doesn't look good for Ondo people. It's not looking good for them. And also the assembly people there need to think. Even if you have anything against Ayedatiwa, who currently is the deputy governor, please do the right thing. Akeredolu has been out of the state mode. Even if you calculate what he has spent in Germany to what the months he has spent in Oyo State, we're talking about maybe 5-6 months now. Now, so where do you leave governance? And you tell me, and there has been allegation of, his wife and his son being the de facto governor in Ondo State. Ondo people did not elect your son, did not elect your wife. It is you they elected. If you cannot carry out your duties, it's a joint ticket. You have a deputy that should take on, pending the time you return.
And Ladeji, what do you have to say about this romance that continues to go on between the executive and the legislature? Because the president weighing in on this matter, it was said that the deputy governor committed an impeachable offense. That's why he was supposed to be impeached. But the president came in and said, okay, you guys sheath your sword, let's just move on. So what happens to the allegations if truly the legislative arm in Ondo State actually finds Ayedatiwa guilty of an impeachable offense?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, it speaks to the fact that we're not building our system. If Ayedatiwa had committed an offense, impeachable one, even if it's a governor, please impeach him. But one thing in Nigeria is that the executive and the legislature, they want to be at par. That is why you see the executive will tell you, okay, I've applied for a loan to get you guys some beautiful cars, because when you have you ever seen if not for the fact that they have an issue that they are fighting, internal wrangling. Have you ever seen a situation whereby truly a legislative arm will say we want to impeach a governor because he committed? A lot of governors have committed impeachable offenses in Nigeria. But what do you have? We will investigate it, and when they know in few months, they know you guys will get out of it, and we are good to go. So the deal we are broken up and down doesn't look good for our system.
Thank you so much, Ladeji. That will be all from the Nigerian Tribune.
All right, moving on to The Nation. A large chunk of the paper goes for congratulatory message, by the way. But the top strip has President seeks $8.6 billion, 100 million euros loans to improve livelihood and fulfill $100 billion pledge on climate change. Tinubu to tell US and EU. The Nation still. Emefiele yet to meet bail conditions, back in prison. And Obaseki should have consulted me on successor. That's coming from Shuaibu'S, the deputy governor, and his boss, Godwin Obaseki, has been in the news for quite some time, not for the good reasons, obviously, controversy, by the way. But then he declared his ambition to succeed his boss, and he has the right to a few days ago. But then he was quoted to say Obaseki should have consulted him on successor. That's Shuaibu'S speaking.
Well, Obaseki doesn't have any obligation to consult him. Neither does he have any under the law to consult Obaseki.
But they have been
whoever is interested.
They have been working together.
They're a team.
Yeah. Now, whoever
and it feels my
see, it is because we are building people, we are not building system. He has the right. Even the list of the person in PDP in Edo State have the right to say, I want to contest. Do you get? It's about you testing your popularity within your party. How well can you consult with the leadership of the party? Show interest, take your nomination form, do whatever you need to do, go to the field. But because we've seen a system whereby governors and pick who will succeed them, that is why we have all this issue. Your governor will not come and tell you, okay, this is the person I want to succeed me. Apparently, you may not be in the good books of the governor. And most of the times also, many governors, if you check the trajectory, many of them don't want their deputies to succeed them. Is that they go and pick a commissioner of finance, a chief of staff, or someone that they've had, something with, and they know this guy will continue, and it will be someone I will be able, because all of them also want to stay relevant in politics. They want to sit back wherever they are, even though they are not going to the Senate, their pension home, they are not going to become a minister. He wants to sit back in his country home and be able to press buttons and say, oh yeah, Mr. Governor, out of your commissioner, out of your 15 commissioners, I'm giving you 10 names. That's all what majority of, or all of them want to do. So I'm saying Obaseki doesn't hold Shuaibu any explanation.
In a normal setting, let's assume a governor and his deputy having a cordial relationship, the one that works. Now, possibly Shuaibu is saying, obviously they don't have that, at least for the past almost a year now. He's saying, my governor, even if he has a candidate, should have given me the first right of refusal. Having worked with him first term, almost completed his second term, is it odd if actually the governor will say, you know what, are you interested or have a candidate? Or you should have been the other way around. You consulting your boss to say, you know what?
Now, it should have been the other way around.
I have an ambition.
It should have been, actually, Obaseki is your boss. You don't expect him to come and meet you. I have this also candidate.
But to ask him if he has an ambition.
You have the ambition. Okay, Mr. Governor, I have the ambition to succeed you.
Yeah.
Do you get? Now, if he now feels, no, you cannot succeed me, I have a candidate, then it's you guys should go and test your popularity. But you expecting him to come to you and say, okay, my deputy, I have a candidate, or do you have does he even make sense.
I mean,
So you should have the other way around.
You know,
Yeah, of course. It's like me asking my chairman to, ask me if it looks somehow. It doesn't give respect also to the office of the governor.
So Shuaibu should have done the consultation.
He should have been the one. Mr. Governor, I am interested in succeeding you.
And I need your support.
I need your support. If the governor says, no, I can't support you, okay, let's go to
another conversation.
It's another conversation entirely, but expecting the governor to come to you and say, Shuaibu, do you have a candidate?
It might not be in that form you are saying it.
Okay, so it can be in what form?
Because I know that
actually,
the relationship between Governor Obaseki and Deputy Governor Shuaibu is, one that is very strong. Before all this crisis began, because we know the part Shuaibu, Deputy Governor Shuaibu,
becoming the governor for the second time.
Exactly. So we might not have the details of how their relationship rolls,
EVELYN,
but then it's not the way you are saying it.
EVELYN,
because we don't even have the details. If Shuaibu went to the governor first,
I'm speaking to what he read.
That Shuaibu,
we are speaking to the paper.
Now, but number two, like you mentioned, they used to have a very cordial relationship.
Yes.
But now it is because of the ambition. There is no two way about it.
All right.
Because Shuaibu and Obaseki, you could see them before the election that brought them in for second time. You see the role Shuaibu played. You see the love that was built. They were both together. They
fought battles together.
But the moment the ambition comes, apparently the governor had someone else in mind.
All right.
And Shuaibu also has an ambition. Apparently,
and he has come out to declare his ambition.
Of course, he has declared, which he has the right to.
Nobody will stop me.
Of course, he has the right to do that.
In Edo State, that will be all.
And I hope EVELYN will be going to Edo to go and vote.
Okay, that will be all from the front page of the Nation.
All right, let's move over to Delhi Independent newspaper for this morning. We must prescribe cross-carpeting, I beg your pardon, unbundle INEC. Jaga says, stakeholders urge more reforms in 2022 Electoral Act. NAS committed to reforms. INEC's independence, says Akpabio. We cannot make Ayedatiwa acting governor, says Ondo Assembly. That's on page 7. And tech deployed in vote buying during Kogi Imo Bielsa polls. That's according to next year. Senate rejects bill seeking parties to replace dead elected officials. Appeal court upholds election of Fubara as Rivers governor. Tinubu seeks National Assembly's nod to borrow 8.6 billion $8.6 billion and 100 million euros. And Fantiri okays 10,000 monthly fuel subsidy stipend for NYSC members. A Emefiele trial fraud, Emefiele's fraud trial, how 1.3 billion naira was paid to firm linked to CBN staff by witness. And Northern senators asked Tinubu to drop sanctions against Niger, insists ECOWAS must end embargo, protect Nigerians. That's all on Delhi Independent newspaper this morning. So, Ladeji, let's have your take on Senate rejects bill seeking parties to replace dead elected officials. Because as it is, like, if someone passes on after they have been elected, the party will just bring in someone to replace them.
That's the suggestion.
That's a suggestion instead of a by-election.
I think we saw the same thing played out in Kogi State. It was Idris Wada. After Idris Wada, Abubakar Audu, in fact, he had won the election. I think it was just before the swearing in or something that he died.
No, he has not been declared.
He has not been declared.
But the odds were in his favor.
Well, of course, yes. And you could see the hula baloo that caused in the party. In fact, some people were expecting that the deputy, James Faleke, would be sworn in as but they said no, because the law doesn't also permit that. For me, I would prefer that, because it would be another process entirely. And you know how much we spend on elections in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And because, you know, it speaks to the issue we are talking about of cross-carpeting and all. If we can settle that, I think that can also help us settle in this, that you know that this ticket or this position you have won is not for you alone. It is for your party, because you are coming, and because we do not have a law that allows for independent candidates now. So if a particular candidate of a party, maybe the election has been won and, you know, he's almost been sworn in, he has a deputy, or there is maybe the person that scores the closest vote to him in the primaries can just take it up. But we have to, you know, we cannot just put that on nothing.
That was what produced Yahya Bello in Kogi, because it was the one that was the runner.
Was the next closest rival to Abubakar.
But another election was conducted, right?
Nope. No. Now, what Senator Karimi is saying here is, you know, when a particular candidate dies, instead of going back to the polls,
to go and
let the party just produce the next person.
And that's what I'm saying.
It was shouted down.
Now, because now I'm considering that option because of how much we spend on our elections. That money would better be spent on another thing.
That was part of his reasons as well.
That money would better be spent on another thing. And because also that we know that this particular candidate, Deji, is a candidate of Party Y.
Yeah.
And because he's not standing alone, we do have a law that allows for Deji to, contest on an independent candidate, whatever. He's contesting on the platform of Party Y. So it means that the ticket and Deji belongs also to the party. So why can't we just maintain that, okay, so your party has won the election already, the person dies, let us just get someone that scores the highest number, the next
primary,
number of votes
from
in the
another
primary.
party.
No, from your party, from your same party, because your party had already won the election.
And it's the party that owns the mandate.
That's what's on the ballot. So we do not get the name of the candidate on the ballot paper. Is the name and the logo of the party that is on the ballot. All right, that's all that we have on Daily Independent newspaper for this morning.
All right. Thank you, Ladeji, for being part.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
And see you soon as well.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We take a break now. When we come back, we head straight to Edo State, really, to hear from a stakeholder. What is really happening? The travails of Felicia Ibo, if I want to use that word, his ambition, the powers that be for or against him, the politics of Edo State. We'll be right back.
The Berlin Conference of 1884 defined the configuration of Africa, which hitherto existed as a continent of multiple kingdoms and empires under native rulers. The conference, otherwise referred to as Congo Conference, regulated European colonization and trade in Africa as initiated by German leader Otto von Bismarck. The Berlin Conference is often called the scramble for and partitioning of Africa, as each of the imperial powers carved separate portions of the continent for themselves without recourse to racial and cultural identities and differences. 137 years after the Berlin Conference was held, Africa remains a legitimized playground for European nations that sought to exploit its wealth and resources and manipulate its human capital to promote trades and investments of Western powers. Western Springer Television identifies Berlin Conference as a major event in history.
There's no other animal as courageous and majestic as the lion. But with only 50 lions left in Nigeria, they may soon just be a memory. When snares are used for bushmeat, we rob the lions of their food and risk maiming them for life. So please say no to illegal bushmeat and help protect the lions. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
on this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Here in South Africa, there is still a healthy population of lions contributing to tourism and creating thousands of jobs. Sadly, in Nigeria, we have less than 50 lions left in the wild. Imagine if we could help their numbers recover and we become a wildlife tourist destination. So let's protect our lions because poaching steals from us all.
James Ajibolaige was a lawyer who obtained his first degree in classics from Nigeria's premier University of Ibadan. Born September 13, 1930, the orator and the polyglot spoke impeccable English, French, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba languages. His fine diction placed him among classical orators and public speakers like Cicero, the Roman orator. This attribute earned him the prefix Cicero of Esauke. He authored Kaduna Boy, an autobiography, Detainee's Diary, Constitution, and the People, among 6 other books. Bolaige was a colorful politician, elected governor Oyo State in 1979 and appointed a federal minister in 1999. He was a pioneer founder of Afenifere, the Yoruba social-cultural and political group. He invested his political sagacity to propel the group to the height of political leadership and decision-making in the southwest of Nigeria. Bolaige was assassinated on the 23rd December 2001. His murderers are yet to be apprehended till today. Western Spring Television identifies Bolaige as a watershed character in history.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians worldwide.
Amazing fun fact number 2. The Bible is one of the best-selling books of all time, with more than 100 million copies sold every year.
Most Christians believe in heaven and hell.
The Bible is the most translated book in the world, with more than 3,000 languages.
Amazing fun fact number 5. Most Christians throw science out of the window without realizing that most scientists are Christians. Hello, I am Pastor Steve Akinwumi.
And I am Dr. ADEYEMI.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Every wild animal serves a purpose in a balanced and functioning ecosystem. But demand for bushmeat can destroy that balance. Deforestation and trade in live wildlife put us all at risk of disease outbreak like Ebola, Lassa fever, and even COVID-19. We can all help prevent extinction and diseases by saying no to illegal bushmeat. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
The British Empire was the largest and the most powerful in the world. At its zenith, the empire embraced a quarter of the Earth's land surface and imposed her Imperial Majesty's rule on more than 458 million peoples across nations and continents. The empire took off with overseas possessions and trading posts established by England, spread over 3 million kilometers between 16th and early 18th century. Like previous empires, the British Empire began to crumble on its weight of overstretched territories and growing unrest in our various colonies. Today, the British Empire no longer exists. What is in place is the Commonwealth of Nations, a loose association of sovereign states which recognize the King of England as the titular head. Western Spring Television identifies the British Empire as a watershed empire in history.
As a player, there's nothing better than the roar of your crowd. But in Nigeria, there's a roar that may not be heard again. With fewer than 50 lions left, they could be extinct in the next few years from loss of habitat and prey and snares set for illegal bushmeat. So please, say no to illegal bushmeat. Let's keep the roar alive for Nigeria, because poaching steals from us all.
According to the words of Michael Forbes, one who never asks questions either knows everything or nothing. Watch me as I ask the questions you think no one wants to answer. Even questions it appears no one has got the gut to ask. My name is FEMI and I've got the gut. Let's ask the pertinent questions and watch as we get answers.
All right, you're welcome back. And the conversation this morning, we'll be going to the southern state of Edo, where it's been back and forth between the governor there, Governor Godwin Obaseki, and his deputy, Philip Shuaibu'S, in which, you know, many has adduced the differences to politics and power, especially the succession of Governor Godwin Obaseki. His deputy, Philip Shuaibu'S, has declared his intention a few days ago to say, you know what, I'm throwing my heart, my all into the ring, and I want to succeed my boss. I want to be the next governor of Edo State. By law, he has the right, by the way. But then so many things has happened, and there's been this back and forth. There was the issue of Philip Shuaibu'S, you know, barred from entering his office, and then we learned he got another office as a deputy governor. There was a time that he was not allowed near his boss at the church service, and then after that, many persons have been speaking on the matter for Shuaibu'S, some for Godwin Obaseki, but then many persons will just feel this, logically looking at it, is not to be disconnected on who will be the next governor of Edo State. Now that Philip Shuaibu'S has declared his intention, does he have the support? We learned this morning through the papers that he said he wasn't consulted. The governor, Obaseki, should have consulted him, that's Philip Shuaibu'S, and which part of Edo State will produce the next governor. I think that's another consideration as well in this matter. They are both of the PDP, People's Democratic Party, but then they were formerly of the APC, and then they stuck together. They were together. They got themselves the ticket, and then they emerged. So they've been working together, Obaseki and Shuaibu. But then it appears that the center is no longer holding for them, and many persons are saying maybe Philip Shuaibu is the architect of his own travails. And then, but we speak to someone this morning who has an insider information about what is really happening. Other matters, that's just giving a context to the matter we're speaking, and we are being joined on phone by Honorable Oladansi Taufik Ayobami. He was an SA media to the former Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable EDOROR. Mr. Oladansi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, yeah. What would be your assessment of what is happening in those days? What many persons have called the travails of Philip Shuaibu, and the matters arising, the back and forth between Governor Obaseki and Philip Shuaibu. Many things have happened, and we take it one by one. But generally speaking, what do you think is happening?
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Good morning, Nigerians. And good morning, my host. Actually, when politics starts like this, things start to clear out. But first of all, let me say very quickly that what you are saying in Edo State is an orchestrated drama that the Edo State people does not deserve at this point in time. The state has gone through a lot in the last 6 years in the hands of these two fellow gentlemen. They are actually gentle. The state has lost its pride. The state has lost its developmental pride. The state has lost its infrastructural pride. The state has not grown in the last 7 years. What we are seeing today is a case of cat to cat or dog eats dog. Because the two of them have been in the ship together. They have been at the helm of affairs of the state in the last 7 years. So for them to now come out to start saying they want to fight each other or they are already fighting personally, it's not what the Edo people need for now. I will still want to say that the Philip Shuaibu declaration against the orders of his boss, which they have driven the ship of Edo State in the last 7 years, is a betrayal of trust. Because if you look at it very, very diligently, this is not the time for them to come and be watching the wrestling outside. Whatever their issue is, they will talk with politically, internally. They should not bring it out for the Edo people to consume. The Edo people are not ready for this their dilly-dally and this their merry-go-rounding efforts at diverting attention from the Edo people. The Edo people seek development. They bring justice in the hands of these women. The Edo people seek for infrastructural development, economic growth. They couldn't find it in the hands of these women. So for one of them to even come to say that they want to come and contest, is an embarrassment and a slap on the Edo people. If you just go and rest and leave the Edo people to determine who will champion their cause in the next 4 years. Politics is here now, everybody is jumping up and down. But the economic index in Edo State, where is it? Where is our schools? No primary school, no secondary school, no roads. I mean, what has the Edo people gained from these women in the last 7 years? So I think it is important that they should just bury their heads in shame. The two of them should just exit the place and allow the Edo people focus on who will bring development. Yes.
All right, Honorable Oladansi, you speaking that, in fact, what has happened between these two men has been affecting the state. Even before what is happening, that you have not really seen development happening in the state. Are you talking, you know, based on party affiliation, or the fact that possibly you yourself, you don't fancy them, or possibly they have never been your candidate, that's why you're talking like this, or you just see that that is the reality? Because many persons will say, no matter how bad any administration will be, there will still be something. But you are saying it like it has been zero for the past 7 years. Is that the situation, or is just you're talking as a politician?
No, first of all, I'm not speaking based on party line.
Okay.
The fundamental political parties are built for certain purposes. The whole of Edo State people are not political party men and women. There are liberal people in Edo State. They don't belong to any political party. But they seek development. They seek economic growth. They seek infrastructural growth. So I'm not talking based on any political affiliation.
Yeah.
Of course, the deputy governor and the governor, they are from the same political class. So they belong to the same political machinery. What I am saying, I'm very, very clearly, I'm speaking the mind of an average Edo man on the street, because I reside in Edo State in the last 10 years, and I know what is going on. I know what these people pay for. An average Edo man will tell you political party is not what brings food to their table. An average Edo man will tell you political party is not what gives their children free education. So this is not an issue of political class or political party.
Right.
An average Edo man, PDP is believers. PDP is believers. And the political party, which is the ruling party, PDP in Edo State now, in spite of all their promises, the first time, they did nothing. They won again the second time, they did nothing. Now they are putting the state into a political chaos. So, I mean, it is not a question of political party. It is not a question of personal opinion. It is a question of public opinion.
All right.
That has been properly dissected, that has been properly investigated, and we have seen the heartbeat of the Edo people. It is not about political party.
All right.
It is about who they want to lead them to the promised land.
All right, permit me to vote in here, Mr. Oladaunsi. With all that you have said about this administration, that is the administration of Governor Godwin Obaseki and Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu, it seems to me like you don't have anything good to say about this present government. But then, you know, that is in contradiction to what Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu said while in that, video where he declared his intention to run for governor. And also, one may want to wonder if truly the Edo people do not see any good in the government of Godwin Obaseki and Philip Shuaibu, then why give them another 4 years to run if the first 4 years was a disaster, as you have said?
Well, let me quickly answer that. You know, in Nigeria, once you win the first 4 years, automatically you become the winner the next 4 years that you have. The last election was properly rigged. The PDP did not win that election, but you know the Nigerian political terrain. They will use whatever power the judiciary has been compromised, you know, and that is why they get that second time. It was not the wish of the other people for PDP, or rather Obaseki and Shuaibu, to get that second time.
Are you Mr. Oladaunsi? Yeah. Mr. Oladaunsi, now we know we are past the election that brought Godwin Obaseki, even the second term election that brought them in. But I can remember vividly during that electioneering period that Edo people were so much involved in getting Philip Shuaibu and Godwin Obaseki back into the race because of the feud between Godwin Obaseki and now Senator Adams OHIOLEI. We had statements like Edo no be Lagos, and they just wanted to use Godwin Obaseki to teach Adams Oshiomhole, you know, what it is, a lesson. So you saying the election was rigged. I don't know where your whether you have your facts. That's just allegation.
It wasn't the judiciary that voted. It was the Edo people.
Exactly.
But then we are past that, Mr. Oladanse. Now, beyond those two, what do you think are the issues? Now, their performance and governance on his side. You said you have been in Edo State, residing there for more than 10 years. You're a politician, you're a political watcher, and in fact, you are close to the authority at some point of people ruling the affairs of Edo State at some point. Now, many persons are seeing Philip Shuaibu as maybe loyal. Maybe his principal was the one not really carrying him on his feather, on his shoulders. Many persons are seeing him as being disloyal. From what you are saying and the issues that have been happening to Philip Shuaibu, what are the issues? What do you think is the problem, really?
You see, let me quickly answer that. A man is driven by his ambition. First of all, Philip Shuaibu is an ambitious man.
Okay.
And you should know all politicians are very, very ambitious. And he cannot exonerate himself from the failure that has happened in Edo State in the last 7 years. Because he has been part and parcel of that government. As deputy governor, he served as chairman of various committees, various initiatives of the government. In fact, he was at the time the head of the Internal Revenue Generating Service. He was the one leading that internally generated revenue. So, the truth is, whether he's loyal to his boss or not, I'm not too sure about that. But a man, like I said, is always driven by ambition. And he should know that he and his boss started this journey together. They should have ended it together. But now he's taking a different path. Different from the focus of the government. Now they are putting the state in a very, very terrible situation.
All right, Mr. Oladanse.
This quarter now, this fight definitely will bring a different upturn in the political scenario that we are going to be witnessing from now on in Edo State.
Okay.
And you know our state is a very, very volatile state. Anything political determination will amount to chaos. I don't know how far they want to manage it. But they should put the interest of the Edo people at heart. And this their fight, they should know how to manage it properly. Because the governor is facing the south, the deputy governor is facing the north. They are not united. And it is very, very obvious. In some political players, this may be good for them because they may see it as an opportunity or an avenue to amass wealth. But for the Edo people, it is not a palatable situation. I can tell you that authoritatively.
All right, Mr. Oladanse, you talked about the fact that Philip Shuaibu is a very ambitious man, and one may want to ask, what's wrong in being ambitious? What's wrong in wanting to become the governor? I mean, he has the right to want to become the governor of the state. And you talking about the fact that there's sort of an issue between the governor and the deputy governor, owing to the fact that their administration now might end in disaster. We have heard time and time over where Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu says, I am loyal to my boss till the end. Yeah. It says, I have made a vow, and once I make a vow to God...
That is a political talk. That is a political talk.
You know, he also came out, he came out to apologize.
He cannot be loyal to his boss and be doing something against his boss in the station. He cannot be doing that. That is not loyalty. If you read 48 laws of power, you do not overshine your master. That is what the law says. Now he's trying to assign his master. He has been calling the governor name. He has been saying the governor is an experimental governor. He has been saying nobody can stop him, including the governor. Is that what you define as loyalty? He's not loyal. That is not loyalty. They started the journey together, and they had a vision when they started together. So his ambition now is to fulfill what the governor's ambition is. I mean, in Nigeria today, you know the fact. These are clear things. There is no governor that is leaving and will hand over governor to his deputy. I don't think it has happened in Nigeria.
But why is that? Why can't we have a governor that will hand over to his deputy if truly they have worked together and they have been together, they have done things together? I mean, the deputy should be the best man in court now to take over from the governor, don't you think, Mr. Oladaunsi?
Please, can you come again with that question?
I said if the governor and the deputy have worked together, they've been together, they've executed projects together, don't you think the deputy governor is in the best position to take over from the governor? You talked about the fact that it has never happened, that we don't usually have it, that the governor, hands over to his deputy. Why is that? Is it a Nigerian thing?
Yes. Let me put you through that.
Yeah.
It has always been an issue of trust. The governor always knows that the deputy governor knows 90% of what he knows. So he is always scared, handing over power to somebody who knows as much as himself. It is a general philosophy in Nigerian politics. You saw what Obasanjo did to Atiku. He made sure Atiku did not take over from him. Even after several attempts, he still making sure that Atiku does not take over. It is a question of trust between them. They have never worked before because they have always cheated themselves at some point in time. So they will be thinking of revenge. And as ambitious people, they don't want to take that chance. Every governor wants to go home and enjoy whatever he or she has looted. So that the deputy governor will not come tomorrow to open the secret that they have buried together. So the governors in Nigeria, with their deputies, they have never, the trust they have is on the surface level. The trust is not in depth. The trust is not humanitarian. It is just on the surface level. So, and it is like that in the Nigerian situation. If the governor duly feels that the deputy governor is loyal to him and that the deputy governor has done all his bidding, what stops him from supporting him? But if the man is not loyal, if the man knows probably everything he knows, and then politically we don't want it to be a political exercise for him to give him the governor. So that is the problem they have. It is attitudinal problem within them. And it may only take another generation to resolve that.
All right.
Because as it stands today, I can tell you that Obaseki can never, mark that word, Obaseki will never support Philip Shuaibu. I can tell you that.
How about never say never in politics?
You said?
How about the idea of never say never in politics?
Please, I can't hear you clearly.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. You said categorically, in fact, you repeated it and said, Governor Obaseki will never support Philip Shuaibu. And I'm not putting it forward to you. Is it how about the never say never approach in politics? How are you so sure?
I am very, very sure. I am very, very sure.
All right.
Let me tell you again.
Yes, please.
That Obaseki, from a governor that I've known in the last 7 years, is not somebody that takes issue of trust very lightly. He has seen very clearly that the deputy governor is on the war path with him. And as a governor, he will do everything to protect himself. He will do everything to protect whatever he has acquired. He will do everything to protect what he himself represents. We are not playing politics of friendship in Nigeria. You saw what they did to Governor Adams in Shomole, former.
Yeah.
When Adams brought Obaseki, he brought Obaseki from nowhere. He He fought Obaseki on the Edo people. What happened immediately Obaseki took over? They brought Oshiomhole down. Are you now saying that Obaseki will do that kind of mistake again? When he knew what he did to the better? Are you saying he's going to use a tight place to allow Philip to put a blood in his eyes and plug his eyes? See, these are not moral issues in Nigerian politics. It is not a question of morality. It is a question of how you can protect yourself and what you have acquired. And in doing that, they will go any mile to do it. I'm still telling you again on this program that there cannot be any truth that will bring Shuaibu and Obaseki together to support Shuaibu's ambition.
Mr. Oladaunsi,
it is dead on arrival.
Mr. Oladaunsi, is it really the issue of loyalty? Because there are talks in some corners that it's the issue of zoning, because we've had Edo North become governor, we've had Edo South become governor, and we had Edo Central just 1 year and some months. That was when Professor Sareme Osubo was governor of Edo State for roughly about a year and a half before he was removed from office. And we heard in some quarters that the governor wants to promote the issue of, involvement, inclusion for all the zones. Because if Philip Shuaibu is from Edo North, and if he becomes governor, it leaves out the Edo Central that has really never, been put in court now, become governor of the state. Is it the issue of loyalty really, or the issue of zoning? And do you think the governor is right for wanting every of the zones, every of the districts in Edo State to, feel included in governance?
Well, you see, Edo State is made up for 3 territorial districts. You have the North, you have the South, and you have the Central. The Central have not had a fair share of power in Edo State. Let us even take it from recently. After the court sacked Professor Sareme Osubo, who barely spent 1.5 years, Oshiomhole came in. Sareme Osubo was from the center, but the court sacked him. Oshiomhole came in. He spent 8 years. Oshiomhole did not go back to the north, where he came from, to bring a governor. He went to the south to bring Obaseki. Now Obaseki is spending 8 years. Ordinarily, Obaseki, even he himself, to be fair in equity and justice, if he's going to bring any candidate, he's supposed to go to Western Center, Edo Center, to pick a candidate. Because it is their turn now. Are you saying that competence should overrule equity? Are you saying there are no competent people in Edo Center? I mean, there are a lot of them. So the argument that Edo is looking for competence should not come in at all. If you bring in the issue of competence now, that means you are saying the Edo Central people does not have capable people. They don't have knowledgeable people. They don't have people that can usher in governance the way the Edo people want it. It will not be good for the policy. And the Edo Central people will be cheated if they are bringing it up. However, what we are saying is that in democracy, it is give and take. Edo Central people are also indigenous people of Edo State. They deserve that power. They have competent people. They have very versatile people. They have very knowledgeable professors. They have individuals that have excelled in their field of endeavor. So why don't you give them a chance? Why are they bringing? In fact, for Philip to even come out today want to contest, it's a slap on the Edo Central people. How can he come out today want to contest after he has spent 8 years as deputy governor? He was in the House of Reps. I mean, does it take the Edo Central people for granted?
All right.
So it is a question of equity. And let us judge from that perspective. The Edo Central people, it is their turn now to become governor. Whether they will spend 8 years, I don't know. But a governor that Edo deserves now must and should come from Edo Central.
Okay.
They have competence to be there.
All right. Mr. Oladanse, you're very strong with this opinion of you thinking the next governor should come from Edo Central. By the way, that would be the prerogative of the majority of the Edo people. This opinion of yours, this choice of yours, this idea that you are toying, is that the general belief in the political landscape of Edo State? Is that what the people are saying? Because yes, zoning is not part of our... If I may, please hold on. Mr. Oladanse, please hold on. Can you please hold on? Are you hearing me? Okay.
And I don't mind what equity. And I don't mind what things to go around. And I don't mind if his brother's keeper.
Yeah.
The Edo Central people are the smallest group of people in Edo State. But they have always contributed their quota. They supported Obaseki. They supported Oshiomole. With all their full chest and all their might. They spent money, they spent investment, they spent energy.
Yeah.
In ensuring Oshiomole became governor. They did that again for Obaseki. Why would they take that away from them now? Because they are the smallest group? Is that what people are saying? No. They deserve it. They are part of the Edo people. Another Edo man, it is a general opinion. That is why you see that there is no more probation when Shuaibu is making noise that is contesting election. He only gathered few people and they have been running around to collect his money. It's that ambition, based on the fact that he's even coming from the north. He's dead on arrival.
All right, Mr.
Get another person that will be coming from the south.
Yeah.
It is dead on arrival.
Okay.
What the Edo people are focusing is equity and their competence and capacity. And they have decided that this thing must go to the Edo Central people. Because they are minority does not mean they cannot become governor.
All right.
No.
All right, Mr. Oladanse.
It is just a clear case.
Yeah.
If you take it away from them, that means you are saying they are not from Edo State.
All right. Can you hear me? Mr. Oladanse, are you still with us?
I'm with you, sir.
All right. You know, yeah, if I may, what I was trying to ask, that you've spoken about the general feel, and that's your opinion, thinking that's what the Edo people want at this time, but then that will be the prerogative of the majority of the Edo people when it's time. Now, there are some names already in Edo State that have been thrown around. You are there, you are residing there, you know, you have been part of the administration in one way or the other before now. What are the names that we are hearing? Because as of now, we only know, to the rest of us in the other part of the country, Philip Shuaibu has made his intentional election in Edo State. In fact, it's next year, towards the end of next year. And so 2024 will be an interesting year, politically speaking, in Edo State, and in also the next neighbor of yours, down south, Ondo State as well. So are their names being thrown around already? Because as of now, the only person that has come out to declare his intention is Philip Shuaibu. Who are the other contestants? Or aspirants?
Yes, there are a lot of people. The horse who starts the race does not necessarily win the race.
Okay.
You understand me now? There are a lot of people. People are fine-tuning their plans. People are already fine-tuning. These people are already known. It is not by evil declaration. There are people in Edo Central that have popularity, they have capacity. People know them. I don't want to be biased to say that I'm supporting one person. Of course, I have somebody I'm supporting, but I don't want to mention it as intention.
Okay.
But if you go to the street yourself, he's an household name. The people know him. He was former speaker of that state. They know him. As a speaker, what he did the governor of Baseki has not done it in 7 years. So he doesn't need to come out and say he's campaigning because people already know him. There are what's going on background.
Are you talking about your former boss?
Yes, I'm talking about the former speaker of those two. A very versatile human being, a very versatile personality.
All right.
So he made APC what APC is in Edo State today.
Yeah.
The same Philip Shuaibu'S and his governor, they refused to swear him in when he won election in 2019. They went to swear people in at night. For 4 years, they deprived him of salary.
All right, Mr.
Emolument.
Yeah.
They deprived him of service to his people.
All right.
He did not become. He did not leave the party. He was in the party. He took the 14 of them. He held them in unity. They brought that party. They made sure that that party survived in the state. Now, politics is there, so people are just jumping up and down.
All right.
Because they want to come and contest election. After election, you will not see them again in the meet.
All right, back to where.
The majority of those people know this part. They know what is going on.
Mr. Oladan,
they are not talking now, does not mean that they don't know where they are going.
All right, Mr. Oladan, if you can hear me. If you can hear me, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
All right, you know, when in the favorite words of the former Minister of State for Labour, Festus Keyamo, he says, using Nigerian parlance, jungle will soon mature. So when everybody comes out and then they throw their hat into the ring, we get to see who these people are. When the campaign starts, really, we'll get to see that. But then in the middle of all this is the Edo people. Edo people are the major concerns. The power players across board, from party A to party B and C and D and so on, many persons will say it's just about power. And you know, they might come out to say service, and it should be about service, but then they must have the power for them to exert that service. But the Edo people of today, you have spoken. In fact, when you are speaking about the name you mentioned, you said what he has done as a speaker, Obaseki hasn't done that in 7 years. And then one might want to wonder, what can a speaker do that can be equivalent to what a governor can do? You're talking about, please hold on, you're talking about the legislature and the executive. Yeah.
Let me tell you, most of these things are not issues of policy. Most of these things borders about morality, it borders about humanitarian, it borders about sacrificing.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. A small child of 10 years old now will tell you that Obaseki has not impacted in any way in his life. But if you ask another 10-year-old, he will tell you that that former speaker impacted in his life. That is what we are saying.
All right, I understand.
All the money.
I understand. Yeah, not the money. I'm not talking about the money.
Does not have all the money.
All right.
But he made sacrifices that impacted positively on the lives of the people. I will not continue. I will not be here to be giving you the records.
All right.
But the records are very, very clear.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
And that is why even people from the south, people from the north, they are saying they are going to give it the support.
All right. You know, when the time comes,
his speakership is not even last.
Mr. Oladan,
but that few period he was speaker,
yes,
he made sacrifices that people from across the state were benefiting from.
All right, let's stick to the topic. We're talking about Philip Shuaibu'S and Godwin Obaseki this morning. That's when I said, when this person and other persons throw their hat into the ring, we'll take it from there when the campaign starts, and then, you know, we get to see. But then, as we take it home this morning now, Philip Shuaibu'S has come out to say nobody can stop him. And constitutionally, he has the right. Yeah, for inclusion, for zoning, other parts of the state. In fact, every part of the state has a right to produce the governor as well. But the man has come out to say, you know what, we are giving it all it takes. Yes, he's not from Edo Central, but then he has the right. He will be governor. At the end of this tenure, if he remains the deputy governor, he will be the deputy governor. He will have been the deputy governor for 8 years. But then he's saying, I'm giving it the top shot. And you have said the governor will never support him. Now, there are major stakeholders in Edo State. You talk about the governor himself. Philip Shuaibu'S, he calls himself the homeboy. He has always been a true homeboy. He has always been on ground. The former national chairman of the APC, who is now a senator, a former governor as well, Adams Oshiomhole, is a force to be reckoned with. Many incredible persons there, politically speaking. Now, and he said, he has been quoted to say, that's Philip Shuaibu'S, he has been quoted to say, he will go to Adams Oshiomhole and seek his blessing. In fact, he said, he remains my father. I will go and ask for his forgiveness. So, don't you think something might turn at any point?
When I said Philip Shuaibu'S as other politicians is an ambitious person,
yes,
you should expect all these things that he's saying is going to do. It's expected. Even the Bible tells us to settle with your enemy very quickly. You understand? So, he feels he has the right, constitutionally, he doesn't believe in the zoning in the state. Fine. That is his personal opinion. He can go to Oshiomhole. Does that mean Oshiomhole will support him? He can still go back to the governor. Does that mean the governor will support him? See, these issues will come up because they have to come up. We know these things will definitely come up. A politician will always find a way, even when there is no way. So it is not a crime for him to come out to say it's contesting. Either I believe in the unity of the state or not, it doesn't matter. But I'm still telling you, very, very cogently, that there is no juju or there is no power or might that is going to exert that will make the government to support him, that will make Oshiomhole to support him. This is politics, and this is Edo State.
All right.
All right, Mr.
For somebody who connives with his boss to bring down their benefactor, Abba. And if it is you, or that will need to become a form that same person.
Okay.
Oshiomhole believes in the unity of Edo State. Oshiomhole believes in zoning. Oshiomhole is a hardcore politician. He's a tolerant person. And he knows that the zoning in Edo State must stand. So why did Oshiomhole bring Philip when he went to bring that person? Are they not from the same place? So Oshiomhole believes in the zoning system. So Philip cajoling and with the offside position to stop going, it will not work.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Oladaunsi, it's been a great conversation with you. But, you know, another question that begs for answer at this time, sir, is the fact that I'd like to ask directly now, are you happy that something like this is happening within the PDP? I mean, you just mentioned that your boss, your principal, will soon throw his hat into the ring for this election. So are you happy? Because some people are calling Philip Shuaibu'S a spoiler in the PDP. Is there, they believe him declaring his intention is to spoil things for whoever Godwin Obaseki wants to become governor. So are you happy that something like this is happening in the PDP? I mean, okay.
No. As an individual, and as a citizen of Nigeria, I cannot be happy when things are going on. What is happening between the governor and the deputy is an error. And I'm not actually happy, irrespective of the fact that I don't belong to their place of engagement. But however, it is a lesson for people who are into government and people who are into politics. Darkness cannot take out darkness. And in the light of that, if mistakes don't happen, there will not be correction. So what is happening between them is not in the interest of the Edo people. It is not in the interest of development. It is not in the interest of democracy. So it is affecting everybody. Because when there is unity, there will be progress. But now there's no unity. Definitely there can be progress. And as an individual, I cannot be happy. Because certain things are already lacking. They have drawn their dagger ahead. Shuaibu has sworn that nobody can stop him. The governor is saying that it is not going to be possible. Madam, how do you want me to be happy about that? I'm an individual. Blood wants to my veins. So I cannot be happy. But however, if there is a need for them to settle, I will gladly also welcome it. But I don't see that happening.
All right, Mr. Oladanse, you know, it's quite instructive what my colleague asked, that in as much you have a principal that is willing in the next few weeks or days, my mix is intentional, meaning whatever is bad for them is a gain on your side, politically speaking. That's the reason for that question. But now, as we round it off gradually, this conversation with you, it's still a long time. This is November 30th. Election will be towards the end of next year, and the new governor will be sworn in early 2025. So if this is happening between the governor and his deputy, any year preceding election in any state or any country is always a busy one that is based on politicking instead of governance. So where does this leave the Edo people, and what will be the fate of the Edo people moving forward? Because you still have more than a year or so to go.
Well, election is coming. Election is in September next year. But the build-up has already started. The Edo people are already feeling impact of this disunity in the government house. Both of them are from the same political party. Even the party itself is in disarray. Because already now, from the look of things, the party is split into three. The Obaseki's faction is there. The chairman's faction is there. Philip Shuaibu is also pulling out some strings. So the party is already in disarray. It is not good for the political terrain of the Edo people. You see, another Edo man wants development by excellence. And that is why when they come out to support you, they will come out to support you with their full capacity. But they have not gotten in return any dividends of democracy. In 7 years, they didn't get anything. The last 1 year now, they have thrown the government out into a war zone. Let us be honest with ourselves. It is all a negative impact that the Edo people have been getting. They have not gotten any positive impact. Just check around. Check around in Edo State. What is the new thing that this government did in 7 years? Check. Where are the schools? Where are the secondary schools? All these things have gone down, and now we are still in the mess of contesting election. Is that even supposed to be their business now? Or rather than to try and correct what they have done wrong in the last 7 years? But of course, as you know, the Nigerian political terrain, it has always been this particular drive. Anyhow you want it, it's what the governor wants, we get it all. So, for me, I feel the Edo people are not even much more bothered about what is happening to them. They are more concerned about who can take them out of this current crisis. Check the economy in Edo State. Edo State is one of the costliest states you can live in Nigeria. Check food price, inflation, unemployment. I mean, just check it. And the governor and the deputy are still at loggerheads on whether to contest election or not. Please, that is not the business of the Edo people. They can sort themselves. Like they say in politics, you have permanent interest. You don't have permanent friends.
Yeah.
I know one day they can still settle. But they should not use this their dirty linen they are washing outside to rub further on the Edo people. And Edo man wants peace. And that is what Edo people stand for.
All right.
All right, lastly, Mr. Oladanse, talking about permanent interest, do you think the ambition of Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu will terminate you know, should in case, I have to put that in, he doesn't get the PDP ticket as a candidate, do you think, with the way things are going, is that desperate to want to cross carpet into another party just to contest this election and test his popularity among the people of Edo State?
Yes, definitely. The deputy governor that I know, if he cannot get his way in PDP, even if it is ADC or NMPP or any of these mushroom parties, I know him, he will go there to get a ticket to contest. He's not somebody that seeks out very easily. If he feels that he cannot get that ticket from PDP, although he has been boasting that he will defeat the candidate of the governor, how he's going to do that, I don't know. But the truth is, I've known him for over 20 years. He's not somebody that's seeking out when he sets out on a mission. He will go to any political party. Even before now, there have been some rumors going around, though there is no smoke without fire, but that he's lobbying the Labour Party people. You know, but I think they have not come to a conclusion. But he needed to flag up on a particular party that he is still a member. So, and that is why he flagged up under PDP. But whether he will use PDP to contest, they will have to wait till next year to know.
All right.
Because definitely, I am sure, he will not get PDP ticket.
Okay, talking about assurance there.
Never say never.
Well,
I mean,
you know,
politics.
Yeah, I talk about
24 hours is a lot in politics.
Always, and I know Honorable Ola Downsy knows that. But you said Philip Shuaibu is somebody you've known for like 20 years. Have you spoken with him recently?
You said?
You said Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu is somebody you've known for like 2 decades. Have you spoken with him recently?
No. The last time we spoke was when I was serving as SA to the former speaker.
Okay.
And that was during their first tenure as the governor and the deputy governor in Edo State. We met at an occasion and we just greeted casually. Yes, he's a very known person to me. When we did students' movement together.
Yeah.
He was NAN's president. I was his mobilization officer.
You have 1 minute remaining.
All right. That maybe we'll leave the conversation there for today. We'll be speaking with essay to the former Edo State Speaker, the Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable EDOROR, and that is who we have been speaking with. I'm talking about Honorable Ola Downsy, and he has been speaking with us and telling us his concern. Ola Downsy Taufik Ayobami, he was a former SA to the former Speaker, Honorable EDOROR. They are quite interesting what is happening in Edo State, but as we usually say here, not just only about Edo State, about the country, the people of the states, the people of the nation, local government, Nigerians. They should be the one enjoying the benefit of democracy. It's about them.
It's about them.
It's about them, really.
And
for these big guys, it's about power.
And the choice of a leader rests on the people. They make the choice. It's not what a governor wants or what some big wigs in a particular political want. It is what the people want. And this feud in Edo State, this drama is not about to end anytime soon. We hear
especially when we are going into a year that precedes election.
Politicking year, yes. And you hear the Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu always say, I'm loyal to my governor. Like, there is nothing that will make me disloyal to him. When it comes to this issue,
even ask for forgiveness at a point.
Yes, the Godwin Obaseki Philip Shuaibu administration, I am loyal till the end. He says it time and time over again. But then one may want to say, okay, is political ambition different from his relationship with his boss?
Yeah.
Because it says, I have a right to contest, I have the right to aspire, but then it doesn't stop my work as deputy governor. I'll still continue to work with my principal on giving the dividends of democracy to Edo people. But something that is worthy of note, Femi, is what Philip Shuaibu'S said at the time, the year leading to the general election, where there was an issue about the ticket going to the north. We've had 8 years of President Muhammad Buhari, and the northerners wanted the ticket, some northerners, I should say, wanted the ticket to come back to the north. And, we had the likes of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in PDP and also Ahmad Lawan in APC trying to get the #1 seat in the country. And, Philip Shuaibu'S said something. He said South will leave Nigeria if presidency return to the north in 2023. And one may want to wonder.
So what? The South?
South will secede from Nigeria if presidency returns to the north in 2023. He said this, and I remember there was backlash when he made this particular comment. And this is the same person that wants to become governor after the north has done 8 years, the south has done 16 years, and the Edo Central has just done 1.5 years. So one would want to wonder, why not walk your talk?
Speaking from different sides of the mouth, politicians are very interesting people across board. By the way, you see them speak something like in the same way in the morning, and just in the afternoon, just a minute later, anything might change. You're saying, really now to what was quoted for Philip Shuaibu'S saying the South is a seat from Nigeria. I was almost giggling that who made him the spokesperson of the southern people? Are you talking about the South? Talk about the South, the Southeast, the Southwest as well. And then Philip Shuaibu'S speaking on their behalf to say, you know what?
We will leave Nigeria if the North, I remember him also, where he made that statement. He said the South owns the resources, the North only has the population. So if we secede, we take our resources with us, then you go ahead with your population.
Interesting one there. Many things, as they say, talk is cheap, but now he is in the saddle and is being faced with the option of what he has condemned in the past, especially talking about the gubernatorial election in Edo State coming up next year. And we wait to see, as we say in Nigeria, God sparing our lives, so we'll be alive to see what goes on there. But be that as it may, the power tussle, either to the south or the north or to the central, it should be about the betterment of lives of the Edo people.
Exactly.
About the
it's all about
right
the people.
Now. Yeah, you're on the power play. When you get the power, use it for the benefit of the Edo people, and now in every state, to the people of your state, people of local government, and at the central as well, the Nigerian people. This is where we put the brakes. This morning, we have been talking about the Obaseki Shuaibu field and the ambition of Philip Shuaibu as well. We've spoken to Honorable Oladausi Taufik, a media aide to the former speaker as well. I want to say thank you for being part of the program, and to you as well, I esteemed, distinguished, very important viewers. Please do out to follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And of course, we are live on our YouTube channel. We are always live there. And if you need a recap of this program and previous editions of this program as well, you have the address scrolling on your screen already. Please go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and share the page as well. And let's tell you that anytime we reel out these social media platforms, you have the opportunity to go there and make your comment, and you might be lucky we just read it one of these days, and in fact we take note of your comment henceforth. Femi Ojo is my name. God bless Edo State, God bless Osun State, God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Have a fabulous day.
And I am EVELYN OHIOLEI. Thank you for your time. We'll make a return tomorrow. Until then, have for yourself a good and productive day. Bye-bye.